Welcome, guys, to Extreme CB, our little podcast here. And today we have a guest, my buddy Chris. He's a part of our little circle of radio guys.
Snowman.
AKA
Snowman.
Snowman.
3 double nickel.
So today I think we're going to call this episode the meat and potatoes episode.
Not so crazy as the last one.
Yeah, not so crazy. You know, we're going to review some stuff and talk about some new things we got in, we're messing with, and some new equipment.
Yep, less alcohol.
Yes. Don't mind the beers. I'm a one beer, guy. I don't want to say the other word because we're all friendly here.
All right.
Watch your pronouns.
Watch your pronouns. That's right. Watch your pronouns there, duck plucker.
Whoa!
So Chris, tell me how you got into radio.
How I got into radio? So I got into radio when I was about 9 to 10 years old. I had went into my stepfather's closet and saw a Radio Shack 40 channel mobile CB, and I started asking questions. Next thing you know, we had it hooked up, had an antenna on the roof, and I was off and running to the races.
So addictive, isn't it? When you're a kid, it's like magic.
It was like I was instantly drawn to it when I seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I knew it was going to be something that I really liked and I was going to enjoy, and I got sucked into it like deep instantly.
Yeah.
It was like an instant connection for me. But that's how it started.
What year was that?
Probably about 1989-ish, somewhere in that ballpark.
So it was still at its height.
Yep.
CB.
Can you hear me, Bricka?
We got you there. We got 007 behind the wheel tonight, behind the camera.
And Debbie.
And
Debbie.
Inflatable Debbie's with him. Our buddy Mark, he's at a St. Patty's Day party. He said, "Screw us,"
Albert's under the weather a little bit.
Yeah, 2x4, Albert. He's not feeling well. God,
Man
say a
down.
prayer for him.
And Randy's
pretty sick.
practicing. He said he's going to be practicing his buddy.
Yeah, buddy. And Randy, where is Randy?
Practicing.
Practicing. Our buddy Randy, Joey Shadow. Big shout out to Joey Shadow. We love you.
Joey.
So anyway, I figured today we'll cover some cool new toys that I bought for myself and something that we all use. And then I actually created a channel, Extreme CB, on this network called Zello.
We love it.
And we use it. But I made it open to the public because anybody watches this video, you could actually download the app. You don't need to buy one of these little walkie-talkies, but they're really cool.
And cheap.
And we talk to people from around the world, and maybe we'll try to make a contact with someone that's a part of our group. But talk a
little bit about it. Like,
so Zello,
how inexpensive it is. And
Zello's free.
Right.
That's the best part. So you can take your iPhone or Android-based phone and download the app and use that. You don't need the walkie-talkie. And then there's different groups, and you can create your own group. And so we have the Extreme CB group, and just I'm sure you'll put it up on the board behind us. Probably not, but yeah. Anyway,
What's going on back there?
if you download the Zello app and you type in search Extreme space CB, you could join the group. There's no passwords. I made it open to the public, and we could all talk, and talk about radios and amplifiers and all the crap we love to do.
so
And
basically, when there's no skip, it's quiet.
right listen, the other day was completely dead, the cycle. I mean,
Yeah.
I was getting nothing.
Yeah, and it was back on fire.
So
again.
what do? We all jump on Zello, and we're talking to Dave Mustang, famous guy on the radio, runs some really crazy equipment, awesome stuff.
131 Mustang out of the high desert.
That's right.
California.
He's out of the high desert in California, 131 Mustang. Great guy. I've known Dave since I was a kid, Good dude. And Tom Cruise look-alike, so it's mind-blowing. But anyway,
Good for him. He got some
we're
good
going to call
genes.
Dave on the radio in a little bit, see if he comes back. And but so this Zello-based stuff, it's internet-based. I mean, it uses cellular data or Wi-Fi, and I think I paid for this. This is a K-Sun ZL10, and I paid $30 for it. You have one too that mysteriously walked away out of your house.
Did, and it went
Well,
MIA.
we're going to get you, kid. We saw you take it.
Yeah. got
All right,
your
we're going to
video.
track your ass down.
That's right.
This is 007s. I think you paid, what, $50 on
A little bit
Amazon?
Under $50.
Yeah, $50. I bought mine on
And
Fleabay for $30.
I was like, why?
You know?
Why am I buying? Yet another thing
Yeah.
I'm going to throw in the drawer.
I highly
That I didn't throw in the drawer.
I highly recommend this one because it doubles as a cell phone, and it's an Enrico T310. A lot of the guys run the T320s, and for like $100, this one kicks ass. I mean, this one doubles as a cell phone, so I use this as my business line. I'll be starting a new business, free cable TV. Unless you know, we'll talk about that once I'm retired and I don't go to jail.
Debbie wants to say something. All right, here she is.
Oh, hey, Debbie.
This is my girlfriend, Debbie.
Oh God.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
So much for the seriousness, right? So much for the seriousness.
Nothing but love.
Okay.
All right.
She's got the pasties on, so it's child friendly.
I brought Debbie to the Ham Fest in Orlando, but I was requested to remove it. I have no idea. What's that, Debbie? Oh yeah, get a little drunk in that part.
Ah, you getting
Come
sloppy.
on, Debbie. Now, get out of here.
Listen, folks, you know,
She got sloppy
the
drunk.
proper term is special needs. We don't use that other word anymore, the R word, but 007 is a little special needs. Anyway,
Debbie, you okay?
getting back on track because he always, for a producer, this guy's always taking me off track here. God bless him. Back to the Zello radios. I mean,
Cool radio.
they're absolutely amazing. You know, this is the Enrico, and you know, there's a company called Tello, and shout out to Mac. What do we call him? What's Mac's name?
Jason.
Jason.
His first personal is Jason.
First personal, Jason Mac. What do you call?
All right, here we go.
You call him
Come on,
what? Mac.
Debbie.
What do you call him? Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheddar.
Mac
Ain't
and cheddar.
nothing better.
So Mac and Cheddar recommended this SIM card company, Tello, not Zello, Tello,
He knows his shit.
and he does. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and for $9 a month, I get data, unlimited talk and text.
And a phone.
You can't beat it, dude.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. I pop the card in, it works great.
So we're not here trying to sell radios.
And we're not trying to sell it. We're just reviewing crap.
Yeah, we
Finally
love it.
doing reviewing, which I wanted to do maybe 2 episodes, Chris, ago, but the last one was mayhem and everybody
get
was
there.
drunk and craziness, except for
great.
me. But yeah, and there's a new radio I want to go over, and this guy K-Link, absolutely amazing. I'm going to give him some props. We're going to talk about a CV guy that I just got done dealing with, DX Radio Shop out of Clyde, New York. Absolutely amazing guy who actually recommended this radio to me, and I'm so glad I bought it. So getting back to the Zello, yeah, guys, check out Extreme CB. Download the app. It's totally free. Android, iPhone, doesn't matter. You could buy a walkie-talkie. I started with my phone, then I worked to the walkie-talkie because I didn't want to tie up my phone. And then it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely. I mean, we talk to you every night. We talk to him. 2x4, the whole circle.
Like a group of guys. That
Right,
are
it's like a
radio.
party line, man. It's pretty cool. So,
Is my phone over there somewhere?
your cell phone or
No,
your
now.
or your
Oh,
walkie-talkie?
never mind. I found it. All right.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's absolutely amazing. I think it's really cool. It's, you know, apparently Zello's been out for a while, but who was it that turned us on to it? Was it Randy? Was it Joey Shadow? I think it was Joey Shadow. So I got to
Give
give
him credit.
him credit, and he got me into it, and then I got Frank into it, and then you got into it, and Mark, Meteor, right? Meteor. We gotta get him a new handle. We definitely gotta get him a new handle. Meteor and 2x4.
That is his second one.
Mac and Cheddar.
Ain't nothing better.
Ain't nothing better.
Absolutely. So hopefully, guys, that you know, after you see this, you join our group, man, and you're welcome to talk to us. And if you guys have questions, or maybe you want to be on the show,
But Rob, remember,
We could use
you gotta
Zello.
remember one thing. I am king of the stupids.
you are king of the
I'm
stupidest.
trying to be.
But
doubt
you know,
about
it's
it.
absolutely great.
Hey, is the radio on?
Uh-oh.
There he is.
Who was that?
That's Dave.
Oh. How about you, Dave?
Talk about timing.
Perfect timing.
Oh, hello.
Hey, Dave, you're on the podcast right now.
What do you got to say in Shaky Town?
Now, Dave's in California. This is
Yeah.
the infamous Dave Mustang. What is it?
131.
131. And
We're here in Jersey.
he's a big deal. No doubt about it. Out in the desert. All right, there, Dave. What do you got to say? How do you like the Zello app with the Extreme CB?
audio quality is phenomenal. I'm not big on amps. I'm not big on using audio through a fucking computer. I like analog audio. I'm an analog man. But yeah, this thing kicks some ass, man. It's like a regular walkie-talkie, man. You push a button and you can talk to somebody. Break it?
Roger, no doubt about it. You know, I was just really pumping this up, and I told everybody about the channel. It's open to the public, Extreme CB, on Zello. Yeah.
We're just saying they're cool.
We're just thinking it's awesome. You know, there's other apps like PTT, and there's a few other ones out there, but I like the Zello. And the Zello is totally free. You know, how can you beat it? And even if you don't want to buy the walkie-talkie, you can just put it on your cell phone. It's definitely awesome. Definitely good stuff. So Dave's working on some secret ops, special ops stuff over there in the high desert.
Building a big-ass power supply.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your power supply there, Dave.
Well, I just spent the entire fucking day building the soft start. I already had using the existing timer mechanism that was already done previously, built into the Dave made. But yeah, I got these two are called, I think Mercury is named the fucking company, but they're continuous 100 amp relays, rated for 250 volts. Heavier than shit. They were quite expensive, and found this crack. I mean, this thing's unbelievable, man. This 1,000 watt, 10 ohm resistor. So the idea is when you turn on the power supply, you don't get that inrush of current, which trips your circuit breaker. That's the whole idea for a soft start. So, yeah, without being fucking boring, yeah, I'm making a little bit of progress. Break.
Roger. Now here's a quick question for you.
What's it for? Like how?
Well, let's start off with this one. How much does that power supply weigh, Dave?
1,200 pounds. It's wow. The only other application they ever used this for is a custom transformer, custom wound. It was a fantastic price, and the only reason why they threw it to me for such a cheap price is that they've built them in the past. So I actually talked with the engineers that were putting it together, and they asked me what kind of radio station I'm using it for. And I flat out told them, man, I'm using this on CB. I'm using this thing on 11 meters, and they just kind of chuckled. But yeah, this is basically designed for a single phase, approximately 30,000 watt AM broadcast radio station.
Now that's what I call extreme CB. What do you think there, Francis? You know, what do you think, Chris? I mean, that's pretty extreme right there, right?
I would say that qualifies for.
Yeah.
100%.
So he's definitely a part of the club, no doubt about it.
Told them, I want to make sure that there's no voltage drop when I key down at 4 watts. It's very important to me.
Yeah, 4 watts. Yeah, Roger on the 4 watts.
Over.
Yes, for scientific testing only.
Right.
Remember that. No more than 4 watts on 11 meters, guys. Yeah, all right. But we're talking about these walkie-talkies and the Zello app and the channel that we all use, Extreme CB. And we told the folks out there that it's open to the public, and if they want to join us, they're more than welcome to.
More the merrier, man. Dive on in. Get a bunch of knuckleheads out here. Free. If you're like me and you don't like walking around with a phone in your hand, you can buy one of these radios. I got one this like a Motorola knockoff, and yeah, it sounds pretty cool, and it gives you the idea like you're actually using a fucking radio. It's pretty cool.
SIM card, or it works through Wi-Fi.
Correct. Yeah, and I explained that earlier, Frank. It's so basically the program is cellular based or Wi-Fi, and it's always crystal clear. I mean, we're talking to Dave in California right now, and he sounds like he's in the room with us. It's absolutely amazing. So remember, guys, Extreme CB, download the app Zello, that's Zello, and Extreme CB. And you'll find us. It's Extreme Space CB. And
you want to get on there and curse us out?
well, I'm thinking we'll use these walkie-talkies to do interviews.
Yeah.
Amp builders, famous radio guys, guys that have been on the radio forever that are pretty big. And why not? I mean, even talk to the regular guys, you know, all the mud ducks out there, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, I think it's awesome for what it is, you know. All right there, Dave. We're going to move on to the next topic. You're welcome to chime in anytime you want, brother.
Put it on you later.
We'll put it on you later. Ba, 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 ba. So.
I know, man. Yeah, catch you later. And, yeah, man, dive on in. This thing will always be on. All right, guys. Have fun with the podcast. 73 from the desert, 131. Way out west, and I'm back quiet.
So, I mean, that's how cool these things are, you know? And it's free. There's no long distance charges.
So
Talk anywhere and around the
something I want
world.
to mention, Chris is relatively new and a lot younger than us. So, maybe let's talk about why is he interested in this when he could simply get on his cell phone? Like, what was the interest?
For me, the interest in CB radio as opposed to using a cell phone is that, it's like a challenge. It's not guaranteed. It's not like picking up a phone and dialing a number and you're going to get a connection. It's the excitement of making the contact, and you're doing it wirelessly through the air, using atmospheric conditions, using your equipment, stuff that you put your hands on, that you set up the way you want it set up, and to see it work, and to complete the transmission from your end to the other end. For me, it was just...
You become a station.
Yeah,
You're literally a station, right?
It grabbed a hold of me, and it never let go, still to this day.
Fantastic.
That's a great answer. That's probably...
Move together just a little bit.
There you go.
All right.
Why are you touching my knee, bro? Sorry. No, I'm messing with you, bro. So, yeah, it's like you're your own radio station, and that's the cool part, because my buddies at work, they don't get it. They think I'm a weirdo. They're like, dude, why do you have that ugly antenna on your car? Or like, do you get HBO with that? And the young kids I work with, God bless them, they're like, dude, what the fuck is that? What is that for? They have no idea what a CB
talking about
is.
somebody who's young. Chris, how old are you?
45.
He's young.
He's a youngster.
He's a youngster. But these kids are, that are in their 20s, they have no idea. They don't know what a CB is.
What is that?
CB, we were talking about Smoking the Bandit the other day. They had no idea who Burt Reynolds was. I'm like, how do you know Burt? Okay, all right, fine. But that's today's generation, and that's cool. I'll never knock any generation, But when you start to get to be my age or old, like 007, really old.
Older.
A lot older. You get nostalgic. And I've said this in the past.
You want to relive your childhood.
That's it, man. The things that made you happy when you were a kid, it makes you happy again, And now you're making money and you can afford to buy things you couldn't afford when you were a kid. You had to wait for Christmas or rely on your parents or mow a shit ton of lawns just to get some mud duck radio from Radio Shack, God forbid you wanted to buy an amplifier, they cost a fortune back then. And it's pretty cool. So, change the topic a little bit. I've been wanting to do since the first episode, but we never actually got around to it. Start reviewing products and radios and accessories and different things like that, to that nature. And I have a Ranger 618. It's a RHF 618. Really weird radio. It's obscure. I overpaid for it. And it just wasn't sounding right one night. And everybody's like, man, you sound like shit. I'm like, man, I just paid so much money for this radio. It's collectible to an extent, and it's quirky, and it's got a touch face on it, and kind of looks like an ICOM 7300, but yet it's a 10, 11, 12 meter rig. So I was looking for a radio repair shop, somebody that actually knows what they're doing. And I think it was the advice of Randy, Joey Shadow,
Right.
said, hey man, DX Radio Shop in Clyde, New York. I said, okay. So I contacted this guy. What's really unique about this technician is, A, he's not full of shit. He doesn't use pixie dust, and he doesn't overcharge you for anything. And he's an honest guy. And I call him up. He's like, hey, man, check me out on YouTube. He goes, pretty much every repair I do it live. I was like, how fucking cool is that? You could watch your radio or whatever you haven't done on YouTube, so that it's been hooked up to an analyzer, it's been gone through, you know, and he pointed out all these things with this Ranger 618, and it's on his channel now. So if you check out DX Radio Shop on YouTube, you'll see my radio being fixed and many others, you know, and it's mind blowing, you know. So I sent him the radio, and he did it right away, man. You know, as busy as he is, that's how this guy makes a living, and he did it live, you know. And so I asked him, because I never have enough radios. You know how that is, Chris.
Sure.
And I'm like, what do you think about the new Striker, the Plus model that does over 100 watts out of the box? I just got done spending over $500 on the President Washington, and I was never so disappointed. And Randy, Joey Shadow bought one, and Frank bought one. And it's an amazing radio. It receives amazing, talks amazing on sideband. Just totally sucks on AM. The audio's clear, but it's quiet.
It's very low.
It's very low audio. People can hear me when I put some watts through it, but it sucks. And there's no way you could turn up the audio. At least nothing.
Nothing yet.
Nothing yet, as of yet. And you know, a lot of these radios like this one, they're micro boards, and there's really not a lot. Everything's menu driven. You know.
What was amazing with that radio in front of you, out of the box, it was like.
That thing cranks, bro.
Yeah.
It just cranks. So I'm talking to this guy, Stu, and he's the technician for DX Radio Shop. It's his business. He owns it. And I said, so what do you think about this Striker? Because I sell them. They're okay. It's a lot of money. I said, man, I just spent $511 from Walcott Radio. Not that I'm knocking Walcott. They did a good job with the conversion and everything. But I'm really disappointed. He goes, I don't sell that radio. He goes, I don't like it. Well, I wish I'd known that. I wish we'd all known it.
Yeah.
You know, combined, would we spend, you know, $1,500 between the three of us on a freaking radio that disappoints us. So I said, so what do you think of the Striker? It's good, but it's expensive. He goes, listen, you want a good sounding radio? Get the Anytone Quad 5 Plus. I said, oh, really? Okay. All right. So I got it. I actually bought two. And
then I bought one.
And then you bought one. And man, this other guy, and they rebadged this radio with a couple of different companies. Retivus, I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's the HS4. It's the same radio. There's a couple European companies that rebadge it. And Anytone's good for that. Radio Oddity does a lot of Anytone radios rebadged. And, you know, I've never been disappointed with an Anytone radio. Not yet. So basically, this has what they call a DX chassis, which is the same size as the Striker 955, you know, 655. They're all about the same.
I think before the night's out, Chris is going to buy one of these.
He might. Hey, Anytone, send me something, man. I'm really selling your product for you right now. So, you know, somebody wants to send us something, we'll review it. Absolutely.
But if it sucks,
we're going to tell you it sucks. We're going to tell you it sucks. Just like the Washington sucks. Yeah, don't waste your money.
Chris, you want to run out of here now? You're like, these guys are out of their mind.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Like literally like 15, 20, then I do have to go.
He's got to go home. He's got family waiting for him. He's got all
Got
kinds of
things
things
to
going
do.
on. You know,
It's kind of a big deal.
he's a big deal.
I'm not a big deal.
He's a
I
big
said
deal.
I'd come. I'm a man of my word. Here I am.
He's a big deal.
He's a 4-watt operator.
Absolutely.
That's about right.
You know, Chris is a great guy. Do anything for you, help you out with anything. He's helped you out
Mention
plenty
your
of
abilities
times.
or no?
Sure.
So, I'm sure you hear my voice. I have a basement filled with radios. And the last thing I want to do is be sitting on the bench and fixing stuff. As you get older, you're like, you know what, I can spend my time. So, I come to find out that Chris is like super meticulous in diagnosing and repairing basically like 12-volt amplifiers. So, he's already fixed one of mine. Trying to keep the secret a secret before he's piled up to the ceiling. But now the word's out.
Absolutely. He does great work, man. I seen him fix amplifiers, radios, all kinds of stuff. The guy knows his stuff. He's great. You know, when you're handy like that, it's a great thing.
Do I want more work?
Yeah.
I like to do it, at my own pace.
Yeah.
I don't want a pile of stuff, but if I can help, obviously I'll help.
Okay.
You know that.
So,
Come on, Debbie.
what the hell are you doing with that thing now, bro? You gonna molest Chris with the damn doll?
I say he's really good at repairing amplifiers.
Holy shit!
Right.
You're the best.
So
Kill me with that.
he's definitely out there.
All right, come on.
So I think
How are you?
a lot of lead chip, paint when he was a kid, and
Just a little bit.
yep, no doubt.
Thank you.
So, okay, so if you guys want to get a hold of Chris, this is a great idea. Zello, Extreme CB.
Yeah.
If his radio's on, he'll talk to you.
Right.
If it's off, don't bother the man.
Yeah, that's it.
You got shit to do.
I'll get you when I get you.
Right.
But yeah, Chris is always on the radio with us, talking with us and stuff, and there's a whole group of us on it,
So over the years, I noticed there's like the CB radio talk, and then there's reality.
Yeah.
Chris is somebody who speaks the truth and speaks reality and tells you like it is. Hey, this is a piece of shit, or no, it's pretty good.
Right.
So you're gonna get the truth.
Yeah. So with this Quad 5 Plus, this is the N model. They make a Plus, Quad 5 Plus, and they make the Quad 5 Plus /N. So the N is an extra board in here that has a filtering system called the NRC filtering system, and it works amazing. It really does. You turn that thing on, and boom, all that hash and trash in the background is gone. The Washington has it too, but the Washington is also twice the price. This thing is packed with features. I mean, okay, it's got the CB echo in it, all that shit, for your typical CBer. But, I mean, does 10, 11, 12 meters, no problem. It works great, and the audio on it is absolutely amazing. And okay, so my Washington, when they converted that for 11 meters, I had Walcott do it because, you know what? You end up burning a trace on the board. Now you just killed an expensive radio. For $50, I let them do it. I said, you know what? If they screw it up, it's on them. Let them do it. And they did it, and they did a good job on it, Walcott. I'm not going to knock them. But I heard some horror stories, and I hear good things, but I gave it a shot. Why not? And they did a good job on it. But I recommend Clyde Radio Shop for... and the guy Stu tells you like it is. He tells you, listen, you don't want that. It's too much money. This is what I do. And when he tunes and peaks and tunes, there's no pixie dust like your typical radio shop. He does it online. So he does it live, and he actually puts it on.
So describe what you mean by pixie dust. They tell you,
Oh,
peak and tune.
well, the radio I bought from this guy on eBay, I paid a lot of money.
This is a good story, actually.
Holy shit. And the whole story's on the DX Radio Shop on YouTube. Because I sent him the original paperwork. This guy paid a fortune for this radio. Paid a fortune for all these extras. And the only thing they did was fuck the radio up. They spread the coils in it, which is a big no-no. They were supposed to open the clarifier. They never did. Some other bullshit tune and nothing was done to the radio, and they charged him, I think, an extra $270 for all this shit. So they did nothing, and the guy from DX Radio Shop, he exposed them. He said, here's the name of the company.
Yep.
Here's what they charged this guy. He thought it was me that got ripped off originally, and then I explained to him, no, I bought this from another guy. He's the one who got ripped off. And I told the other guy I bought it from, I sent him a message on eBay. I said, hey, dude, go check out DX Radio Shop. They fixed the Ranger that I bought from you. I'm perfectly happy with the radio. I'm not complaining to you, but just so you know, these guys charged you all this money, and they didn't do a thing. So you might want to ask them for your money back. Yeah. And he went through everything. He hooks stuff up to a spectrum analyzer. He gets a dead nuts on frequency. He'll adjust your audio for you, and it's spot on and it's clean. It's not overmodulated. No, there's no golden screwdriver. When I say pixie dust, I've seen some guys do some hack jobs, and these guys totally hacked up this radio. But he fixed it, put everything back together right, and it was all live. And it's there to watch, and you can go back and watch it. So I give the guy at Clyde, Clyde, New York, DX Radio Shop, I give him props. definitely, and a nice guy and an honest guy. And guys like that are hard to come by, because I've run into a lot of shady people, you know, when it comes to the world of CBs. I'm sure I don't know if you ever had any experiences, Chris.
Yeah. Had several bad experiences. Yeah.
Well, Chris, without naming names, take us through some of the
Bad experiences? Or,
yeah, like, hey, there was this one time.
So I had bought an amplifier from a gentleman on a Facebook group, and it was built by Gatekeeper. This gentleman purchased it, and he was selling it. I bought it from him. It comes, like everything else I get. First thing I do is I pop the cover off. I want to see what's going on. Pop the cover off. I look inside, and I see cut wires back near where the relay is and where the preamp section is. So obviously, I know this thing's not going to work. Push come to shove, I filed a complaint. I got my money back, but this guy had a scam already set up. He was using me as a scapegoat. He knew the amplifier was broken, but he put a claim in with USPS so he can get his money out of them. Knowing the amplifier was bad, he claimed it happened during shipping. Now, I could tell you, from somebody who's been on the inside of equipment before, that did not happen during shipping. It was intentionally done by a human being. I ultimately got my money back. He got his scam complete. Never talked to him again.
They have a blacklist for people like that.
Yes, yep.
I would have exposed them, you know.
Yeah, I may have at the time. I
You
don't
know,
remember.
I recently ran into a problem with a guy, and he made good on it. So far, so good. I sent this guy money for an amplifier and a radio, and it was never sent out. And, listen, I'm not going to knock the guy. He's very polite. I said, just make good on it, brother.
Yeah.
Don't, and I had to, remind him that if I paid you a lot of money for a service, or I paid you a lot of money for a product, and you take my money, it now becomes theft by deception.
Yep.
Or wire fraud. And I had to remind him this, and that's where the law enforcement comes out of me at that point. But you know what? The guy made good on it, so I'm not gonna knock him. He's a very polite guy. There's Bob. That's Sandman. There you go. And that's Extreme CB on Zello.
That's how it's done.
So
Give him a shout.
how about you, Sandman?
What's going on? I was listening to, I guess, Dave out there. He was out there earlier, and I was laying back. I was doing a few things around here,
Roger,
You're live.
You're live right now. You're on the podcast. We're actually talking about, radios and the Zello and the walkie-talkies and the Extreme CB on the Zello.
And all of a sudden.
And all of a sudden, your voice comes through. So you want to say hello to the public there and tell them a little bit about yourself and how long you've been on the air and you've been on the CB for. He's like, oh, shit, you put me on the spot.
Yeah.
Fuck. That's what he's saying.
He's not going to keep up.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
Maybe look back.
Yeah, but on the air since 1969 with a handle copper kettle. Then I switched over to the Sandman. But anyway, make it short.
He's got his TV going in the
It's been a lot
background.
of fun. I've met a lot of people over the years.
All right there, Bob. You got to lower your TV. Your TV's blaring
Crystal
in.
clear.
Crystal clear. That's how good this radio system is. I mean, you can hear his TV and what he's listening to right now. That's since 1969. I wasn't even born in '69. That's how long these guys been, in love with the hobby. And I loved it. I want to see the hobby continue. And when you see younger guys like Snowman here, or guys even younger get into it, I absolutely love it because I absolutely. And you want to be helpful and you want to help these dudes out. Hell, I gave one of my neighbors. He's a young guy. I gave him a radio. I said, here, man. Well, what do you want for it? I said, nothing, dude. I want you to enjoy this. You know what I mean? Like if you're into it, if the kid showed interest into it, I gave him an antenna. I gave him a radio, and the kid loves it. And he listens to us, and he just loves it. And to see someone young get into the hobby, and then you got someone like Bob, who's been in the hobby since 1969, that's absolutely amazing,
All right.
So Bob, what's your handle again? It was originally Copper Kettle, and now you're what?
Now it's Mud Duck?
No, now it's Sandman.
Sandman!
Bob's got some badass equipment,
Oh,
man.
he's on the hill.
Anything from wizard built amps to I bought a lot of equipment from Bob. You know.
I know that.
And he's very fair in his prices. You know, he almost underprices his stuff.
I agree.
Well, with your friends, you try to be fair out there, and that's the only way. That's the way to live life, you know.
Not 007.
Be fair with your friends.
Absolutely. Well, 007's a cheapskate. He tries to squeeze every fucking penny out of you, but you know, that's 007. Other than that, yeah, I agree with you, Bob. You know, I bought a lot of equipment from you in the past. I bought radios. He sold me brand new Toshiba pills from RF Parts, you know, at a ridiculously cheap price, you know, $28.79. I mean, I bought all kinds of stuff, amplifiers from him, radios. You know, Bob's a great guy. I love Bob, you know. And Bob's one of the dudes that he's always out on he's always on the radio, and he's always on Extreme CB on Zello with us. But yeah, good to hear from you, Bob. We're gonna get back with the show, and we're just telling the public about Extreme CB, and it's open to the public on Zello.
Yeah, Roger. Zello's a good thing. When the radio's crowded, man, you got a place to go.
Yeah, he's right.
He's right. That's a great answer. That is a great answer, Bob. I have to agree with you.
You know, you'll run into a problem, and somebody's like, here's what I would do, or here's
right.
how to help out.
We give each other
Here's where
technical.
to get the parts
I watch Chris do it all the time. He's got, you know, him and Mark, and he's telling Mark what to do step by step, and he's using the Zello app. And we're all listening. We're like, yeah, he's right about that. Yeah, he's right.
Taking notes.
And taking notes. Yeah, you know what? Holy shit, that's a great idea. But yeah, no doubt. You know, it's like a big chat line.
Like a party line.
Like a party line from back in the day. Kind of like CB, a party line. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I looked at CB as a kid, as a party line, you know? But Bob, I'll talk to you later, brother.
Alrighty. I'll be on the side listening, guys.
So, you know, it's fun. And you know what? When you're tired, you just turn it off. It's no big deal. It's like turning off the CB. But yeah.
Do you have any other like weird stuff that went down on the CB, or you know, any interesting stories like TBI neighbors, and you know, so.
Oh, he's got a good one.
I'll tell you about the.
Do me a favor, 00, come on down, sit down here.
Right.
I'm going to take a smoke break. It's my only vice in life, folks. You shouldn't smoke cigarettes. Kids, if you're looking, don't smoke cigarettes. You know, but I'm going for a smoke. All right? Have a seat.
I would join you, but I can't.
All right?
Tell me your story.
You can vape in here. You don't care. Go ahead, vape.
No, I wouldn't do that to him. He'd freak out.
That doesn't, vape doesn't bother him.
Really?
Yep, he don't care about vape.
No, I just bought this radio. Comes about in like a week or so.
Yep.
I'll be sure to blow it up.
Somebody's
All right. So, you told me a while ago. You're like, I got this neighbor, and they, you know, they're seeing me. They're seeing my face on their TV set, something like that. I don't know what it was.
Yeah. So when I first set up my station, I had put up an IMAX 2000, and the minute I keyed up, I started having problems with my neighbor. He had an old tube television. I don't know from what year it was from, but it was old enough to where you know, I'd be causing interference on his end and pulling up the menu, and you know, he's hearing me, and you know, blah blah blah. And I tried to move the antenna, that didn't work, and ultimately, push come to shove, 12 years later, it seems like the problem finally got worked out. I don't know if they got a new TV or it's the change of my fifth antenna.
You're not even sure if they died and they're still.
Yeah.
They haven't been discovered yet.
Right. Don't know what happened, but the complaints ended, thankfully.
Yeah, I've been to guys' houses that run kilowatts.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, major power, and they have not a problem. But then again, they're almost like literally running radio stations. They have the proper grounding. It's not really a CB radio anymore. It's more like a broadcast station. And you know, towers and grounding, coaxial size of fire hose coax, and but you could be in that same room, and they're running like kilowatts. There's not a single line across any of the equipment that's, like AM and FM stereo or any of the cable television stuff. It doesn't affect it, but you had run into that problem, and every time I talked to you, I was like, man, just buy him a new TV. And they refused.
I offered several times. The wife didn't want to let go of the antique tube television, so I paid the price for it.
Yeah, pretty nuts.
Yeah.
But, a lot of us we love what we do, and we enjoy what we do, and we'll go to any length to resolve the issue.
Absolutely.
I had a situation many, many years ago. This kid's like, I'm hearing you over my computer. I just bought him a whole new computer system and speakers and all this shit. I'm like, because you spend tens of thousands of dollars on your hobby, what's a couple $1,000, when you can buy them peace and they're blown away that you'd spend that amount of money and that you're that passionate about their hobby. It all started out me first getting them some really high quality speakers. And then after that, I'm just going to buy that. I'm like, what kind of computer do you use? So he ended up getting a new Mac. And matter of fact, I think it was like one of my old ones that I have here, using for editing and video production, things like that. So he was happy, I was happy, and resolved the problem. So
Sounds good.
that's it. All right, I guess we're going to wrap it up. Rob's out there smoking his lungs out.
Yeah, I'm going to be right behind him.
Yeah, he's okay. So that's about it. So 007 here in New Jersey. I think your phone's going off.
Yes, it is.
And
I'll get to it in a second.
on that note, I know this show's not that exciting, but we figured we'd make another video podcast. And if you have any topics, anything that you want to discuss, go to extremecb.com, shoot off some email, and we'll take it from there. All right, we're done?
Sounds good to me.
Uh-oh, Rob's back.
Oh yeah.
All right.
All right.
Cold
Okay.
out, man.
Yeah.
Damp and raw.
Strange. I just got, I had the whirlwind tour in the RV,
Jesus.
Okay.
cruising all over Florida, being able to visit all the ant builders.
Listen, man, you're my hero.
Yeah.
You really are. This guy travels everywhere.
Well, the cool thing was when I went to, when I went to the Florida Keys, you're literally out in the middle of nowhere. And I have, I use a Browning Mark IV Golden Eagle that works perfect in the RV. And I have a small little amplifier. And then I have a serial gain master that I figured out how to permanently leave it on the RV. So when I get to the location, I just kind of hinge it up. And I ended up running into this guy, Golden Boy. His entire set of teeth are gold. Real character. But really interesting guy, super nice guy. He's in the lobster business there. Then I cruised all over Florida. It was amazing. I went, saw the rocket launch a couple times.
Well, you got my amp fixed too.
Yeah, I went to Daryl, Ghost Rider.
He's a big deal, that guy. I mean, he's definitely.
Terry Davis. They're
Yeah.
all really good people. Another guy named Chris, who's good with the LD Moss boxes. And then Wolf, who is, man, he's been in the game. He used to live here in New Jersey. These are all very smart, basically AC amp builders that are really good at what their crafts are.
Right.
And, all these guys are basically the ones that I'm dealing with in Florida. It's a drama-free zone. So you don't have to listen to all that CB nonsense and all that crap that goes along with it. You go in, talk to the man, you get your shit repaired, and you're done.
And you're not waiting forever.
Yeah, you're not waiting for, years, months, whatever. So it's kind of nice.
You see some of these amp builders, and we're not naming names because we don't bash anybody. But you some of these guys get so popular and so big. You send them an amplifier or radio, you might not see that bitch
I
for
don't
2
know.
years.
I'm in the business because, when I say business, I'm in the hobby because I like it. I'm not selling stuff, mainly buying stuff and throwing in the basement. But,
He has
I
a
like
museum in his basement,
Yeah, it's
literally.
like a museum. I like to buy from people who are chill and cool and, and then mess around with the radio, make a little video about it, kind of fun stuff. But what I really don't get into is all the politics and all the nonsense and all the he said, she said.
It gets clicky
You
sometimes.
know, all that drama.
It does get. One thing with Extreme CB, we're not clicky by any stretch. Anybody's
I mean,
welcome.
everybody likes to screw around, but you know, it's just you know, I'd just rather pay what needs to get paid, get the gear, you know, get things repaired quickly instead of having to deal with you know, drama zone. He said, she said, oh, did you hear this? And pretty much don't give a fuck, you know, to be honest with you. So, all right, Rob, why don't you jump in and wrap it up? I'm going to step on out. Chris, you can stay here and just, you know.
Oh, he's got to get.
Oh, he's got to leave out of here.
What time you got? You got a couple minutes, or you got to go?
5.
5 minutes?
All right,
Okay.
5 good. Enough time for you to wrap
We're
up.
gonna talk about
Jump
the
in.
other apparatus I have here. All right, and this is made by a guy who I love his work, man. I just came across him. You know,
Chris, the only thing you have to do at this segment of the video, go, ooh, ah,
Yeah,
wow, that's cool.
just gotta
You
go
gotta
like this.
humor him a little
Yeah, just
bit.
one of these. You
See,
know.
Rob, I wish I could.
So
Where'd you get that from? I'd like to have that.
So this actually takes your mobile and turns it into a base unit. It's all in one. And this guy, K-Link, it's K-Link. I'm going to send him a message, tell him that we reviewed
We've
one of
talked
his
about it.
products.
Yeah.
And this guy really puts a lot of thought into his stuff. So basically, he sells directly on eBay, and I believe Bell CB carries his. He probably has an exclusive deal with Bell CB because he sells his products too. And
Does he call himself? Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. I bought the radio from that guy, Moonraker, or something.
no, you bought it from the company Moonraker out of the UK.
Yeah, so I
Very
bought the
good company,
radio-
by the way.
Yeah, I've dealt with
Yeah,
him.
I bought the radio from there tonight.
Correct. And you bought from you bought this K-Link
K-Link, yeah.
on eBay. So I'm going to give this guy props because I like stuff that's really well thought out and well built.
And who's building stuff for CB radio anymore?
And
Nobody.
that's the wow factor.
Yeah.
That's the
And
cool
a young
factor.
person like CB,
Absolutely.
What are you talking about?
So for I think with tax and shipping and everything it was $170. But let me tell you, the thought process that was put into this thing was absolutely amazing because it's made. He makes them for different radios. This one's set up for either a Stryker 955, 655, anything what they call a DX chassis. Yeah. And the Quad 5 Plus is a DX chassis. So
Spin it
basically,
around a little bit. Show them the build quality.
right. So I'm going to get around to that. I'm going to get to that. So in the front of it, he puts and it's all high quality parts. There's no cheap Chinese crap in this thing. A 3x5 speaker. It's made by Sharp. Sounds absolutely amazing.
Way better than the little tiny speaker that's inside the radio.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's facing you.
Even the cable that you plug in is like a braided cable he gives you. You know, on top of that, there's a cooling fan right here, okay, on the side of this. That it's so basically this chamber is pressurized. So it's sucking air in, it's cooling the power supply, and then it's forcing air out the back on the cooling fins of the radio. I mean, really thought out.
How about the built-in power supply? Which is
So the built-in power supply is a 17 amp Meanwell. So it's not some cheap Chinese power supply. I mean, Meanwell power supplies are
quality supply.
quality supplies. So those
Just
are your.
don't key that thing. Oh, there's no mic.
No, there's no mic hooked up to it. Yeah, I know. Oh my God, I'd cry. I just got this. So the power supply is a Meanwell. It's 17 amps, so it's made for a high-powered radio.
This is the point where you go, no shit, Rob.
Yeah.
All right.
It's made for a Stryker. It's made for a Quad 5. This is a 50-watt radio. A Stryker does anywhere from 60 to 100 watts. You know, the new one that just came out does 100 watts. Pretty badass. But I don't want to spend that kind of money. I just spent that money on a Washington, and I'm going to keep fucking talking about it. That's right. That fucking Washington sucks. All right? It just sucks. I'm sorry. I'm upset. $511 out the fucking window.
That's right. Mine's already in the basement.
Yeah, mine's gonna be under my fucking tire. I'm gonna use it as a wheel chuck. All right.
All right.
So getting back to this K-Link, it's the guy even gives you the spec sheet with it and the plans, and the whole thing's 3D printed, but it's solid, man. It's solid, and the fan he uses is a brushless fan, He uses a heavy-duty switch, and it's set up for 2 stages, high and low. So it's set on low. I don't know if you can hear it. It's not super loud. I'll put it close to my mic. That's high right there.
It's not, you know, you're not,
that's blasting right now, which you don't even need it to
you
do
can dry
that.
your hair with it, Rob.
Yeah, no doubt. But it's absolutely amazing design, and it's built to last, and it sounds amazing. The speaker he puts in it is great. So, dude, I don't know what your first name is. I forget. But the guy from K-Link, he designed some really cool shit. He thinks outside of the box. He makes a portable fan system that with magnets, heavy-duty magnets. And you could actually stick it to any radio you have. That's pretty cool, too. You're thinking outside of the box at that point. You know, and I like to see shit like that, you know? And I got to give this guy props. I give him 2 thumbs up on this. It turns your radio, your mobile into a bass. Because think about it, Chris, how many bass units, CB bass units are sold today? Not many.
No.
Unless you're buying an export.
Yep.
And you're going to pay a lot of money, man. Like that. What do they want for the new Ranger? I think it's over $1,000.
Yeah, they're big money.
I mean, if I'm going to spend $1,000, no disrespect, Ranger, you want to send some products? I'll be glad to take them and review them. But for $1,000, I'll buy an ICOM 7300. You know? So for $160,
But
and
you
he-
will still need a power
so
supply.
this right here, just so you know, folks, is the model the K-621. It's made by K-Link, and he actually puts the version, so he's always bettering his product. Because the original one I saw had a toggle switch, and it looked kind of cheesy. He put a heavy-duty switch in the back of this, and then he's got a lighted power switch on the back of it
Any
too.
phone number, any contact information?
I did Google him, and I found a website.
We'll throw up a graphic.
Yeah, but he sells mainly on eBay and Bell CB, which they sell a lot of radio products. So I guess he figured out he makes a hell of a product too and wants to carry his line, and he does. So I'm going to give props to him. I'm going to give props to DX Radio Shop in Clyde, New York, because Stu recommended this radio, this Quad 5 Plus, and he sells it. I think he charges a little extra for his alignment and tune, and he does it live. So you're actually watching your radio. They'll be like, okay, this is from Mike K out there, and I'm doing his radio. I think that's badass.
Yeah.
You know, he won't put your last name
Full
out there.
transparency.
Yeah.
But full transparency with his work, which not many technicians
No,
do that.
no.
I don't know any
It's very
technicians that do that.
refreshing when you've got a guy that does everything, you know, so you can see it happening step by step.
Right, and think about it. He could get so much more work done, this guy Stu, if he didn't make videos.
True.
Because how much, now he's got to edit the video, he's got this and
Time,
that.
money.
Right. But he's doing it to make his customers happy. And you know what? That sold me on it.
Yep.
That totally sold me. Full transparency, him repairing my Ranger did one hell of a job. But, you know, so those are my shout outs. These are the products we reviewed. I mean, you could buy yourself the ZL, K-Sun ZL10. Great cheap little radio, anywhere from 30 to 50 bucks. I think you paid 50 bucks. I don't even know the name of this. I don't even know if it has a name on it. Amazon. The Enrico T310 or T320. Buy them on Amazon, eBay. Or just download it on your phone, man, Zello. And check out Extreme CB. Just do a search. It's a group search on Zello. And join us, man. Everybody's welcome. We don't care. You can ask all the stupid questions you want, or just talk about radios, talk about amps. And like I said, we're not cliquey. We're nothing like that. You know, we don't discriminate. Put it that way.
Right. Chris, you want to say any shout out to any of those good buddies of yours?
Well, let's give shout out to Mr.
Mac and Cheddar!
to Mac and Cheddar and
Ain't nothing better.
and to our friend Mark Brawley. Hope he's having a good night. And yeah, that's it, man.
There
Hope
you go.
everybody is
Mark
well.
Middleman, he's a good guy. He hates me though.
Oh, so I'll leave it alone, bro. Leave it alone. Mark is a good guy, and
A master at repairing
antique
Brownings,
radios,
trams, and
amplifiers. I mean, the guy, it's a lost talent. It really is, and it's
Yep.
kind of sad. But there's another guy in our group, Big Lou. Now, Big Lou is a character, man. He's a good dude. He's the nicest guy in the world. You'll never hear a nasty thing out of his mouth. And
You will from us though.
Big Lou repaired my Cobra 2000 for me and did one hell of a job. And I'll tell you what, I put his work up there with you, man. I've seen your repairs. You do a hell of a job. So,
thank you.
Big Lou, but he loves his Cobras, man. He goes, Rob, send it to me. He didn't charge me a fucking dime, Big Lou.
Yeah.
He repaired my meters. He repaired my frequency counter.
Wow.
And I tease him. Big Lou's Custom Radios. Big Lou, what's he always say? I'm on meds too. Yeah, Big Lou's on meds too. So there's a shout out to my buddy Big Lou. You know what I mean? Hell of a nice guy. He talks on Zello with us. He talks on the local channel. We talk on what, 23? Channel 23 is our local channel around here.
Really kind of using these radios.
Yeah. So, you know, if you're driving through New Jersey, jump on channel 23. I'm sure one of us will answer you, especially at night. We're up all hours talking to each other like a bunch of losers. But bunch of fucking nerds, you know? But at the end of the day,
A lot of stuff about nothing.
yeah, we're going to wrap it up. Chris, thanks for coming on the show, brother.
Thank you for having me,
All right.
gentlemen.
All right there.
Woo! How'd you like that, huh? Talk about the catch of the day.
Hey, we finally got to review something, all right? We're going to call this episode the meat and potatoes.
All right.
All right?
Bye, 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 bye.
All right,
Bye-bye.
guys, till the next
Say goodbye
episode.
to Debbie. Bring her in the scene.
Bye, Debbie. Bye. And Debbie's not
Bye.
hitting me for alimony like my ex, but that's okay. It's all good. All right.